Yes, people, we are back. Now, as you can see by the title, this is how to completely change character. Completely change the current habits that you currently possess, the current train of thoughts that you currently possess, into the ideal character, the ideal human being that you want to be. Now, I'm going to make this as little wishy-washy, just practical and just as much practical advice as possible, because I know certain things like this can come across as very cheesy and non-helpful, very like self-improvement type. But at the end of the day, this is some serious practical advice that's helped me completely elevate as a person, improve different avenues of my life, whether it be simply just communication as a whole, my ability to sell, my ability to earn more money, my ability just to be more audacious and achieve better things with my life, and just make me feel a lot more fulfilled and happy as a person compared to 5 to 10 years ago. Now, you might be somebody who does feel quite insecure about themselves. You might be somebody who does feel like they're lacking their potential as their own human being. Maybe you want to just take a bit of a risk. Maybe you're just bored of the current lifestyle that you're currently on. The mundane routine of working the standard 9-to-5 job that you're in has very limited progression. Maybe you're bored of everybody who you're talking to. You're bored of the current city that you live in. You want to take those big risks and move, but you just don't feel like you're the guy, or you don't feel like you have the answers yet to be able to make those big moves. I'm going to give you those answers, because this is something that I've completely been invested in, and is something that I have identified within myself over the past couple of years, that have enabled me to completely move city, completely change my perception of myself, to really just elevate my own potential and limits as a person. I really do think I'm a much more capable and confident person in comparison to how I was years ago. Somebody who was very timid, who would never have thought to be speaking to the camera like this, sat in a park right next to fucking Sydney Opera House, which is over there somewhere. So yeah, for me specifically, I was somebody very insecure, very unsociable when I was growing up. I wouldn't ever think about moving country. I'm now living in Australia compared to my hometown in Manchester. I work in sales. I work in solar sales. I've ran an online coaching business, helping guys getting into phenomenal shape. I would say that I'm a bit of an advocate nowadays for fitness and sales. It's two things that I'm massively interested in. And I think anybody in general who is struggling to get any sort of grasp of life or understanding of purpose, understanding how to sell, understanding how to communicate properly, and obviously getting into better shape, is going to put you in a phenomenal situation for whatever path of life that you want to be going down. Now, let's get stuck into what the actual points are of this video. How to change your current character type. Now, the first thing you've got to do, you have to visualize. Well, actually, I'll firstly state this. You have to understand that the current place that you're in right now, do not be feeling butthurt or disappointed in yourself. Well, to be fair, you should be feeling that, but don't be feeling like, someone should be doing you a favor from being in the current situation that you're in. If you're really in the mud, you really, have a lot of these destructive habits, and it's making your life a living hell. At the end of the day, the results in your life are a complete reflection and a mirror for the things that you do each and every day, the actions that you take each and every day. And you completely deserve to be in the situation that you're in. And I completely deserve to be in the situation that I'm in, to be as confident as I am right now. So firstly, you need to identify the things in your life that are taking you down this current route. Make it a non-negotiable to not act in these certain types, whether that be for you drinking too much of the weekend, you smoking, you just indulging in stupid, destructive habits, hanging around with stupid, low-quality people. Maybe that's one of your vices. That needs to be cut out. And the main point here, the first point of what I really do want to be making, is you need to visualize the person that you want to be becoming. What does that person do each and every day that allows them to win and get the goals that ideal person wants to achieve? Whether that be learning the correct acquired skill sets for certain things for their job, or certain things, certain skills that can help them leverage to build an online business. Maybe that's something that you're interested in. Whatever it is, waking up early, going to those gym sessions, making sure that they never miss these sessions, they're eating clean, they're being respectful towards people, and they're charismatic as a whole. They're completely different than what they currently are right now. Think about how this person wants to be. Think about how that person acts each and every day. That's the best version of yourself, and that's the person that you're chasing each and every day. Write down the routine, write down the day in the life of what that person does each and every day, and stick to it, and follow that path each and every day. Be disciplined and be relentless to follow that path. That is all you would simply need to do. But of course, we're all human at the end of the day. We all feel emotions, we all feel resistance to change. Your brain is currently just devised of patterns. The way that you think, the thoughts that you think, and the way that you feel, it's all built of patterns and just chemistry in the brain. It's just familiar with the current way that you're living. So when you're going to start to act on this new routine that you want to be following, it's going to feel difficult. You're going to feel a large amount of resistance, but that's completely normal. You need to be feeling as much resistance as possible. If you're not feeling resistance, you're going to be sat down, in the comfort zone and not changing the current lifestyle that you're in. Now, the resistance is completely normal. You have to just ignore those negative thoughts and feelings that you may be coming across. You just understand that it is normal. And the more you put yourself in these more difficult scenarios, the more it actually is feasible, and the more that it is likable. At the end of the day, I never used to be an early riser. I wake up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning because I love to get that those extra hours of work ahead of me. And like I said, there are times when obviously I do slip up. But what I would say, if you're accurate to this routine, this ideal routine, 70 to 80% of the time, there's no way you're going to lose. How could you possibly lose if you are, 80% plus accurate to this routine each and every day? There's no possible way that you would lose. So that's the first thing. Obviously visualize where you want to get to, and secondly, understand that resistance is most definitely going to happen. And thirdly, it's just mainly down to action. Each and every day, action. And also understanding that, doing this routine, you might be feeling quite in discomfort because it's different. It's a different pattern that you're currently on. To give yourself the self-confidence and self-belief that you are this new person, I would highly recommend to hold yourself accountable. Write down these patterns that you're doing each and every day on an accountability tracker. This is something that I can provide if needed. The accountability tracker is something that gives you the reassurance and the knowledge to know that you are completely transforming into this new person. Set yourself targets, whether it be going to 20 to 25 gym sessions over the course of a month, reading, setting some time aside to read every single day, logging this down each and every day. The more that you log it down, the more familiar that you'll be with doing these actions each and every day, and slowly you will become this new person. And overall, give yourself that possibility to change location, to change the place that you live in, and overall completely transform yourself as a man and as a human being as a whole. Now, I hope that helps. If anything does need to be reiterated again, I'm more than happy to do another video on it. But for now, that is all. So I'll see you in the next one.